Do you ever feel that strange tingling, burning, or even a complete loss of sensation in your feet? That bothersome numbness that makes walking feel unsteady, worries you about falling, or just keeps you from enjoying your daily strolls. It's a reality for so many of us as we get a little older, and it can truly put a damper on your independence and zest for life. What if I told you there's a surprising connection between that frustrating numbness and some of the very fruits you might be eating, thinking they're good for you? It's a secret that many don't realize, but understanding it can make a world of difference to how your feet feel and how confidently you move through your day. In this video, we're going to uncover 6 common fruits that, for seniors, can actually worsen that numbness in your feet, and more importantly, what you can do about it. It's not about giving up fruit entirely, but about making smart, informed choices that support your nerve health. Make sure you watch to the very end for something that will truly surprise you about managing your foot comfort. Now, let's dive right into the first category of fruits that might be quietly contributing to that discomfort in your feet. We're talking about dried fruits. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dried fruit is natural. It's healthy, right? And yes, in moderation. A fresh piece of fruit is a wonderful part of a balanced diet. But when fruit is dried, something significant happens. The water content is removed, and what's left is a highly concentrated dose of sugar. Think about it this way. To make a small handful of raisins, you need a whole bunch of fresh grapes. To make a single dried date, you're looking at a much denser sugar bomb than a fresh one. This concentration means that when you eat dried fruits like raisins, dried cranberries, dried mango, or especially dates, your body gets a rapid influx of sugar. This causes a quick spike in your blood sugar levels. For seniors, especially those who might be pre-diabetic or have a predisposition to blood sugar imbalances, these rapid spikes are particularly problematic. Over time, these frequent and sharp increases in blood sugar can damage the delicate nerves in your feet, making existing numbness worse or even contributing to new nerve issues. These tiny nerves, called peripheral nerves, are incredibly sensitive to fluctuations in blood sugar, and consistent high levels can essentially starve them of the nutrients and oxygen they need to function properly. Imagine your nerves are like tiny electrical wires that transmit messages between your brain and your feet. When blood sugar levels are constantly too high, it's like a faulty electrical current that slowly degrades the insulation around these wires, making the signals fuzzy, weak, or non-existent. That's the tingling, burning, or numbness you feel. The fiber that would normally help slow down sugar absorption in fresh fruit is often less effective or less abundant in dried versions, leading to that faster sugar rush. So, while a fresh apple might have a good amount of fiber to help regulate its natural sugars, a dried apple ring is a very different story. My advice here is not to eliminate all dried fruit, but to be incredibly mindful of portion sizes. A single date might be okay occasionally, but a handful of dates or a large bag of trail mix loaded with dried fruit can be a real issue. If you do enjoy dried fruit, try pairing a very small amount with something that slows sugar absorption, like a few nuts or a spoonful of plain yogurt. Better yet, swap them out for fresh berries, which are lower in sugar and packed with antioxidants. Making this one simple switch can have a profound impact on managing your blood sugar levels and, in turn, protecting those sensitive nerves in your feet. Now that we've discussed the hidden dangers of dried fruits, let's move on to another culprit that might be lurking in your pantry, silently impacting your foot comfort. Let's talk about those convenient canned fruits packed in syrup. You might grab a can of peaches, pears, or fruit cocktail, thinking it's an easy way to get your fruit intake, especially when fresh options aren't readily available. But here's the harsh truth. These canned varieties, particularly those labeled as in heavy syrup or even in light syrup, are absolutely swimming in added sugars. While the fruit itself has natural sugars, the syrup adds a massive, unnecessary amount of refined sugar. This is sugar that your body simply doesn't need, and it certainly doesn't help your nerve health. When you consume these sugary syrups along with the fruit, you're essentially giving your body a double dose of sugar. The natural fruit sugar plus all the added processed sugar. This combination leads to a much more significant and rapid blood sugar spike than you would get from fresh fruit. We've already touched on how these blood sugar surges can wreak havoc on your delicate nerves over time, exacerbating that numbness and tingling in your feet. Think of it this way. Fresh fruit offers its natural sweetness along with vital fiber, vitamins, and minerals that work together to nourish your body. Canned fruit and syrup, however, strips away much of that goodness and replaces it with a load of empty calories from added sugar. It's like taking a wholesome food and turning it into a less healthy, more inflammatory version, the canning process itself. While preserving the fruit, can also diminish some of its nutritional value, leaving you with a less potent and more sugary product. Plus, many canned fruits are often softer and easier to consume quickly, meaning you might eat a larger quantity in one sitting without even realizing how much sugar you're taking in. The solution here is quite straightforward. Make it a habit to completely avoid canned fruits that come in syrup. If you absolutely need a canned option for convenience, look for those labeled in water or no sugar added, and still drain them thoroughly. Better yet, reach for fresh or frozen fruits. Frozen berries, peaches, or mango chunks are often picked at their peak ripeness and flash frozen, locking in their nutrients without any added sugar. They're just as convenient, can be stored for longer, and offer all the benefits of whole fruit without the sugary downside. By ditching these sugary canned options, you're making a conscious decision to protect your nerves and keep that frustrating numbness at bay, allowing your feet to feel much more comfortable. Now that we've shed light on the pitfalls of sugary canned fruits, let's turn our attention to another seemingly innocent fruit that can become a problem, especially when it reaches a certain stage of ripeness. Next on our list are very ripe bananas. Now, don't get me wrong. Bananas are generally a good source of potassium and other nutrients. But here's the catch as a banana ripens. Its complex carbohydrates, which are essentially starches, convert into simple sugars. A green or slightly firm banana has more resistant starch and less sugar. As it turns golden yellow with those familiar brown spots, it becomes much sweeter because more of those starches have turned into readily available sugars. This means that a very ripe banana has a higher glycemic index compared to a less ripe one. What does that mean for your feet and that numbness? Well, a high glycemic index means that when you eat it, the sugars are absorbed into your bloodstream much more quickly, causing a faster and more pronounced spike in your blood sugar. We've talked about how these blood sugar spikes are detrimental to your nerve health. Imagine you're trying to keep a gentle, steady flow of water through a delicate hose. If you suddenly blast the water at high pressure, it can damage the hose over time. Similarly, repeated rapid surges of sugar in your blood can put stress on those tiny capillaries and nerves in your feet, leading to inflammation and damage that can worsen numbness and tingling. Many seniors enjoy very ripe bananas, perhaps in a smoothie or just as an easy-to-eat snack, and while occasional consumption might not be a major issue, making them a regular, large part of your diet, especially if they're very spotted and soft, could be contributing to your neuropathy symptoms. Instead of reaching for that overly ripe banana, consider opting for one that's still a bit firm and light yellow. You'll still get the nutrients, but with a slower sugar release. If you absolutely love ripe bananas, try to pair them with something that slows down sugar absorption, like a handful of nuts, a spoonful of almond butter, or a scoop of protein powder in a smoothie. The fat and protein will help to mitigate the sugar spike. Alternatively, consider swapping out some of your banana intake for other lower sugar fruits like berries, which are packed with antioxidants and fiber without the same glycemic load. Making this conscious choice about the ripeness of your bananas can be a subtle yet effective way to help stabilize your blood sugar and support the health of your nerves. Now that we've discussed the ripeness of bananas, let's turn our attention to another common way we consume fruit that can be surprisingly problematic for your foot comfort. The fourth fruit culprit we need to address is fruit juice, even the ones labeled 100% pure fruit juice. You might think a glass of orange juice or apple juice is a perfectly healthy way to start your day or get your vitamins. But here's the critical difference when fruit is juiced. The beneficial fiber is largely stripped away. All that's left is concentrated fruit sugar and some vitamins, which can often be obtained more effectively from eating whole fruit or other sources. When you drink fruit juice, that concentrated sugar hits your bloodstream very quickly because there's no fiber to slow down its absorption. It's essentially like drinking liquid sugar. Imagine eating 3 or 4 whole oranges versus drinking a single glass of orange juice. To get that glass of juice, it takes multiple oranges, but you lose all the pulp and membrane that contain the fiber. The fiber in whole fruit acts as a natural buffer, creating a slower, more gradual release of sugar into your system, which is much kinder to your blood sugar levels and your nerves. For someone experiencing numbness in their feet, those rapid and intense blood sugar spikes from fruit juice are particularly detrimental. Over time, these spikes can cause damage to the tiny blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to your nerves. When these nerves don't get the nourishment they need, their function deteriorates, leading to or worsening that uncomfortable tingling, burning, or numb sensation. It's a continuous assault on your delicate nervous system. Even unsweetened 100% fruit juice can be problematic because of this lack of fiber and the concentrated natural sugars. Instead of reaching for a glass of juice, make the switch to plain water, unsweetened tea, or better yet, eat a whole piece of fruit. If you crave that fruity flavor in a drink, try infusing water with slices of cucumber, lemon, or a few berries. This gives you flavor without the sugar bomb. For instance, enjoying a whole apple or pear not only provides the natural sugars but also the crucial fiber that helps manage blood sugar and keeps you feeling fuller for longer. It's a simple swap, but one that can significantly reduce the sugar load on your system and provide much better support for the health of your nerves, making a noticeable difference in how your feet feel. Now that we've explored the issues with fruit juice, let's consider another category of fruits that, while healthy, can become problematic when consumed in overly large portions. Our fifth category focuses on overly large portions of certain high-sugar tropical fruits. Fruits like pineapple, watermelon, and even mango are undeniably delicious and packed with vitamins. However, when consumed in excessive amounts, their natural sugar content, though naturally occurring, can become an issue for those managing blood sugar and nerve health. These fruits, especially watermelon and pineapple, have a relatively high glycemic index, meaning they can cause a quicker rise in blood sugar compared to, say, berries or apples. While a small serving of these fruits is perfectly fine and provides great nutritional benefits, it's easy to get carried away. Think about how much watermelon you might eat on a hot day, or how many pieces of fresh pineapple might disappear from a fruit platter. It's not that these fruits are inherently bad, but rather that the sheer volume of sugar you consume in a large portion can lead to those undesirable blood sugar spikes we've been discussing. For your nerves, which are sensitive to these fluctuations, a constant onslaught of high sugar levels can contribute to inflammation and damage, ultimately worsening the numbness or tingling in your feet. Many people might think it's just fruit, so I can eat as much as I want. But portion control is key, particularly for seniors who are more susceptible to blood sugar imbalances and related nerve issues. Instead of filling a large bowl with watermelon, opt for a small, mindful slice. Enjoy a small handful of pineapple chunks rather than a whole serving from a large container. When you enjoy these fruits, try to pair them with something that has healthy fats or protein, like a few almonds, a piece of cheese, or a spoonful of yogurt. This helps to slow down the absorption of the fruit's sugars and creates a more gradual rise in blood sugar, which is much healthier for your nerves. It's about balance and moderation. You don't have to completely cut out these delightful tropical treats, but being aware of portion sizes and how they impact your blood sugar is a powerful step towards better nerve health and more comfortable feet. And finally, let's discuss one more seemingly innocent fruit that, due to its convenience and high sugar density, can be a hidden saboteur for your foot comfort. The sixth and final fruit we need to be mindful of, especially for seniors dealing with foot numbness, are grapes, particularly when consumed in large quantities. Grapes are small, sweet, and incredibly easy to pop into your mouth one after another without really thinking about how many you're consuming. While they contain antioxidants and vitamins, they also pack a significant amount of natural sugar in each tiny bite because they're so small and don't require much chewing. It's very easy to overeat them, quickly accumulating a large load of sugar in one sitting. Think about how effortless it is to finish a whole bag of grapes while watching TV or reading. This rapid and often unconscious consumption leads to a quick influx of sugar into your bloodstream, much like we've discussed with the other fruits. For your delicate nerves in your feet, which are already struggling with numbness or tingling, these frequent and substantial sugar spikes from overeating grapes can be particularly damaging. High sugar levels contribute to inflammation and can impair the function of those small blood vessels that nourish your nerves. This continuous stress makes it harder for your nerves to repair themselves, or even maintain their current function, ultimately worsening your foot discomfort. It's not about grapes being bad, but about their high sugar density per serving and the ease with which one can overconsume them. A small handful of grapes as a treat is generally fine, but mindlessly snacking on a large bunch can be problematic. Consider a mindful approach to eating grapes. Put a small portion in a bowl and put the rest away. Savor each one, enjoying its sweetness. Better yet, try substituting some of your grape intake with lower sugar, higher fiber alternatives like blueberries, raspberries, or blackberries. These berries offer similar antioxidant benefits with a much lower sugar impact, making them a far more nerve-friendly choice. Making this subtle shift in how you approach grape consumption can be a surprisingly effective way to manage your blood sugar levels and provide better support for your overall nerve health, helping to ease that frustrating numbness in your feet. So, we've walked through 6 common fruits or ways of consuming them that might be contributing to that bothersome numbness and tingling in your feet, from the concentrated sugars in dried fruits and the added syrups in canned varieties, to the higher glycemic load of very ripe bananas, the fiber-depleted sugar bomb of fruit juices, and the easy-to-overconsume nature of high-sugar tropical fruits and grapes. The common thread here is mindful sugar management. It's not about giving up fruit entirely. Far from it. Fruit is a vital part of a healthy diet, rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. The key is understanding how different forms and quantities of fruit impact your unique body, especially as you get older and your system might be more sensitive to blood sugar fluctuations. Remember, every small change you make truly adds up to a significant difference in your health and overall comfort. By being aware of these potential pitfalls and making smarter, more informed choices, you are taking powerful control over your well-being. Opt for fresh, whole fruits with lower glycemic index values like berries, apples, and pears, and always be mindful of your portion sizes. Pair fruits with healthy fats or proteins to help stabilize blood sugar. And swap out fruit juices for plain water or unsweetened teas. These aren't drastic overhauls. They're practical, achievable adjustments to your daily routine that can lead to profound improvements in how your feet feel, enhancing your balance, your mobility, and your peace of mind. Imagine enjoying your walks again without that constant worry about your feet, or simply feeling more stable and confident in your own home. That's the freedom these small dietary shifts can bring. Your feet are your foundation, supporting every step you take in life. And nurturing their health is an investment in your independence and happiness. Don't let the subtle effects of certain fruits hold you back. You have the power to make choices that truly support your body and empower you to live your best life at every age. We'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed a difference in your foot comfort by changing your fruit consumption? Share your experiences and tips in the comments below, so we can all learn and support each other on this journey to better health. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical advice and inspiring content designed to help you thrive. Here's to healthier feet and a more vibrant life every single day.